We're going to keep trying to find ways to continue to connect on Saturdays, not every Saturday, but there's a lot going on as we continue to move toward next season. And as next season will continue to evolve because, us in our brave whole new world. So we just wanted to meet today just to talk through some things. And we have some big stuff to talk about and exciting stuff to talk about. And I believe the only way to really start talking about big stuff is to play a video with lightsaber effects. Is this what I understand to be true?
Technically, you will notice the sound is not exactly a lightsaber sound, those of you who know lightsaber sound. So let's not oversell the sound effects. But yes, we can start with the video. Let's do that. Where am I?
Hey everybody. I just wanted to take a minute and connect with all of you. I'm super excited to share with you some continuing updates. As you all know, the last 8 weeks have been nutso. But while we've been doing the work to make sure that we can do the virtual choir stuff and radio revelry, keep that moving forward, as well as continuing to sort of connect with you and create. Behind the scenes, we've had amazing humans continuing to make sure that our artistic director search moves forward, which is really important for sort of what's next piece of our organization. We've had an excellent committee, we've had amazing
candidates, and so many of you have given so much of your hearts and souls and time for feedback and engagement and investment in the process. So that really means a lot to me, and it really means a lot to the organization to sort of prepare us for what's next. Many of you know that I'm sad to be away from you and apart from you, but one of the things that I've been spending time teaching my family is you can feel more than one thing at the same time. And I have to tell you, I am so damn excited about what's next for YPCC, especially under the leadership of this exciting human. This person is collaborative and communicative and innovative and seen in the field as somebody who thinks joyfully and differently about how people can come together and sing and raise their voices. And right now, as we're going into this wacky time, there's not a better time to have somebody who thinks that way jumping in to our amazing organization filled with all you amazing people. So I have been told that I need to officially pass the baton, but A, I don't have a baton in my house because you've met me. B, I don't generally carry a baton, so I'm using my Young Professionals Choral Collective pen because, that's me. And I'm so excited to announce to you all that the next artistic director of the Young Professionals Choral Collective as we enter into season 9 is none other than my friend and colleague, the fabulous Dan Cozart Steele. So I'm passing the baton. Take it away, Dan.
Thank you, Kellyanne.
Wait, it went away.
YPCC, it is my honor to take this baton. I'm excited to come and work with you because you are one of the most vital and vibrant, relevant choral ensembles in Cincinnati. I know that things aren't going to get started in the way that we thought, but it's okay. Because the community that you have forged together is strong. And while we can't lift our voices together in song, we're still a voice in our community. We're going to emerge from this stronger and better and more creative. And I cannot wait to take this journey with you. Thank you for naming me your artistic director. Thank you for bringing me into this community. I can't wait to see what kind of work we're going to do together.
Yay! So we will have a special guest. Cheers, right?
Cheers, my coffee.
And save your cheers because we'll have a special guest joining us here in just a minute. And we, YPCC always believes that singers should be our first. I agree with you, Jessica, totally. I mean, not in the rad part. She is YPCC as an ethos always believes in singers first, but Dan identified that from the first second and said, I want to make sure that we tell the singers before it goes totally public. And we said, we have the perfect forum for that. And she said, shouldn't we do a cool sticky video? And we were like, yes, that would be awesome. And so I would just like to point out that like I was in my pajamas with a pen and she was like perfectly put together. So I just feel like all the beautiful juxtaposition. But I am really excited and she is really excited. And as she gets ready to join us here, I just want to say to you that after this call, the world explodes and goes public. So we will be pushing out the press release. We will be pushing out, is she here? There she is. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
There was you missed your big cheers and your round of applause, so maybe we can do that again. So everybody's very excited. Yay! I was just commenting on our amazingness of our video and the laser effects and the like Kellyanne in her pajamas and you looking fabulous and fantastic.
Well, thank you. Yes, the laser effects when it turned around. It was like pew, pew, pew.
Right. Well, so did I pass it the right way? I thought I passed it the wrong way. Whatever you did, Scotty, it was magic.
Hollywood magic, Kellyanne. Hollywood magic.
Oh, very good.
Awesome.
Well, I like how you didn't even correct it. You're like, I passed it the wrong way. I don't know. I've had a bourbon. Here.
No comment.
Totally legit. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Well, so I was just telling them, Dan, that so after this, things kind of go public, we're going to be sending Scotty crafted a press release. I've created a letter that not only celebrates Dan, but also celebrates sort of the process. Matt is on this call, and he was the head of the search committee. So grateful to that. Jenny, as head of the board, made sure to coordinate so many different pieces of this. Everybody was so heavily invested in giving feedback. I mean, people sort of gave, our gala cycle to being part of this sort of what's next piece. And I'm really proud that YPCC not only ran a really clean, thorough, badass process, you did it in the middle of a pandemic.
Okay.
So, right? It's kind of crazy. Yeah. So our announcement took a little longer than we would have liked, but I'm really proud that we were able to see this through to conclusion. And I can't be more happy that we have Dan as we enter sort of this strange new world, because she is creative and wonderful in all the things. And do you guys have any questions for her? Or Dan, do you have some things that you want to say? And I will shut up.
I mean, I am so elated to be here. It's almost not possible for me to be articulate. I have watched this organization grow from its inception. So right when you all were founded, I was getting a job in Richmond, Indiana at Earlham College as their assistant director of choral activities. And my boss and dear, dear friend, who was the head of the department, said, hey, there's this really cool organization in Cincinnati. We need to go sing with them sometime. It's a bunch of young professionals making awesome music. And he and I didn't have an opportunity to be in the choir, as it were. And then, like life happens. But I've gotten to watch you all kind of ascend in the choral community, in the Cincinnati arts community, and just been wildly impressed. And so when the opportunity came to apply for the job, I was just like, okay, I'll craft the resume perfectly, and my cover letter shall be the best one, So like, I hardly feel worthy to be here, and I am so excited to work with you. So, yes.
Danielle, I think that the biggest negative on your list is that you are just not enthusiastic or positive enough. I feel like if you could work on those skills, that would be super.
If you could bring a little more energy, Dan, if you could just bring up the energy a little bit, you're a little low energy for this group.
I know, and I'm a wilting flower. Like I don't have opinions, and I'm very quiet. So, yes.
So Danielle and I we've already started meeting behind the scenes, and we have a few more meetings after her dissertation is written on May 12th, because all of that happening there too, all while having an almost 2-year-old. So yes. Again, badass music mama, thank you. we are continuing to sort of create many scenarios. I'm not helping create the art, but sort of giving her the framework of sort of what our capacity and capabilities could be so that she can dream and be creative. And I know you already have crazy ideas about awesome things that we could do, whether we can have all of our concerts. I'm going to change my pronouns, whether you can have all of your concerts or not. You know, YPCC will continue to create, and I am excited to continue to facilitate opportunities for Dan to tell you as things develop. Do you have anything specifically that you want to say about that, or is it I mean, it's going to keep developing?
So yeah, actually, so I have friends in Italy and Spain, and so I was watching this unfold. Kind of, it was like having a time machine, right? So I'm watching for weeks what's happening in their countries, knowing it's inevitable that it's going to happen here. And so when we went into the stay-at-home order, I spent the first 2 weeks grieving and freaking out, and then I was like, okay, this is in the scheme of history. The arts make the most significant leaps forward in times of great crisis. And so the example that I use of that is after World War I. Before World War I, music was like super romantic and flowery and ooby-gooby and luscious. And then after World War I, people were like, the world has gone to hell. 3/4 of the population is dead. I'm making that up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in Paris, I think 3/4 of their male population was dead. And they were like, art is pointless, what will we do? And from that came the most prolific, beautiful, creative, insane art. Like, that's where we get the Dadaism art movement. And what happened to art after that is the reason that we have all of our modern art forms today, like jazz and rock and roll. And so it's really cool to think like, okay, here's this terrible thing, and then this is the amazingness that the art community made out of it. And I was like, all right, okay, become a, you know, 20th century Dadaist. What can we do with choir? And my brain just started to fire. And so Scotty and I will be in discussions about what's feasible. And yeah, it may mean, for example, delaying a fall concert, but I'm super excited for what we'll create afterward. I think there's going to be a whole lot more of a visual element. I think there will be a whole lot more technological elements. And this is an opportunity for us to step up and use our voices in different ways, whether that be different ways artistically, like literally coming out of our mouths, or in our community. To say YPCC, one of our missions, for example, is to highlight and support small local businesses. Awesome. How can we use our voice, our figurative voice, to make our community even better, especially right now? And that's what I want to do. So we're not going to sit here passively and like wait to succeed after the pandemic is over. We're going to be a leader emerging from the pandemic. And that's how I feel. And so we're going to do some awesome, wild, crazy, beautiful stuff.
It's awesome. And you know, the conversations that are happening in the field right now is that the really big organizations, the one that are beholden to buildings and giant boards and giant budgets and all the things, they are having to make different decisions than an organization like YPCC will have to make. You know, to your point, Dan, about sort of that great art that comes out of crisis, it's generally not made by giant institutions. It's made by flexible humans who are able to go out and think bigger than concert performance, but what does art mean in the community? And I think YPCC is perfectly poised as an organization that's done the work, and now with your artistic vision and leadership to sort of put that all together. YPCC has always been a like right time, right person, right place. Like we had a president of our board who was from PNG and met with Kelly Ann once a week to make sure at a time when we needed that, right? Yeah. And we were able to have like how lucky are we to have your vision and creative mind during a pandemic? You know, I think that it's exciting.
That's exactly how I envisioned taking over. The pandemic was really part of my, ideal.
And me too. I was like, I shall end my career at the end of YPCC in a global, right? But like, leave it to the like badass music mamas to make beauty out of all the things, right?
That's right. That's right. We can get puked on right before a meeting and then come into the meeting with total poise. Yes.
I sold a sponsorship at Course America yesterday while my son shit his pants. At the end, they guaranteed me $1,000 while he still had shit in his underwear. So
Yes.
we rule the world or something.
So that wasn't that when you texted me that it was like almost it was in process. It was like
it was right after. Yeah. Yep. Just
that was
sharing.
not like a story. It was not like an anecdote that you have in your archives. That you were like, no, that
that had just happened. Yeah. Super proud. So do you guys have any questions for Dan besides puke and poop and things of that nature that you
I'll talk about all of it.
Where's my mute button?
Did I miss the cool video?
Yes, you did.
Yes, Katie.
That's what you get for not making it until 9:20.
Don't worry, I'm sure we can send it to you.
Thank you. That's the only question I had.
Right. So I want you to notice that in the video I'm wearing the same thing that I'm wearing now, and that is because I was taking a shower at 8:58 this morning, and I leapt out of the shower frantically and I was like, what the fuck do I wear? Oh shit, I can't be naked. And so I put on the same thing that I wore when I had the video. It is not because I'm awesome and planned it that way. It was desperation. So
that's all right, Dan. I said we had some YPCC people on a call last night, and I wore this sweatshirt. I've already told everybody that, but I'm telling you, there's no shame in wearing this.
Most of us are wearing what we slept in, so.
Slept in it, and then I'm still wearing it.
I mean, most of us are still in our PJs, so you're totally fine.
No, there's
no many of us are not on video currently.
Yeah. Carrie. Yeah, my barometer for changing is like, can I smell myself? I should probably change my shirts.
Can I smell myself? He says. That's great. And then you're like, but how much can I smell myself is probably the next.
Right.
There is a real
yeah, I should probably check.
There is a real question in the chat from Deborah. Can you give us a teaser of some of the things you have planned for our first season?
Okay, so these are not things I have planned for you per se. These are, all of this is still in the brainstorming phase because the science around group singing right now looks pretty bleak, but the science changes every day. And so I'm keeping abreast of that while also planning for about 5 different scenarios, right? So I would say the worst scenario ever is that we delay everything for a year. That's not the scenario we want. So I was like, all right, what are ways we can break this down that are going to keep us in community and making music together? And I think one of the most feasible things to do, like with choral organizations, is if we're permitted to meet, if we can't meet in a group of 250, then we break into sub choirs and we meet and we all learn the same repertoire kind of together apart. And then in a few months, when it's safe for us to sing as a large ensemble, then we all have the repertoire prepared, right? But in terms of that's just nitty gritty logistics that my academic brain is thinking about. In terms of performances, here's what I think is really neat. I think there's an opportunity for cool venues, and most of them being outdoor venues, and cool visuals. And so the visuals that I'm thinking of would be designed to promote the appropriate distancing, but also allow us neat partnerships. So for example, pretend we did a concert at the Cincinnati Zoo. And so we do a concert in an outdoor space, a space maybe with an amphitheater that allows for ample audience separation as well as singer separation. And we partner with an organization to do costume pieces, right? So what I'm thinking about, for example, is the idea of if this is something I'm working on, maybe also for my college choir, the idea of if we had a costume piece like wings, right? So again, thinking super, super out of the box. And the entire show is themed around flight, wings, angels, and hope, right? Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul. And so to be able to have glorious visuals so normally choirs are in all black, right? It's like we're serving the art and we have to be, black head to toe. Well, maybe we aren't. Maybe part of our art form becomes visual. And we have this opportunity to work with a Cincinnati theater company or to work with some phenomenal designer. The other thing is that there is work going on with the idea of humming. And so it's like, all right, what if we do an experience for our audience that is a sound bath? And so we are able to we're able to do some kind of, again, large singing in the round, and the experience they have, maybe there's a visual with a screen. And so our audience is having this, think about a kaleidoscope, the way that a kaleidoscope moves and merges. And so our audience is having like this meditative experience, and maybe we're doing some badass Whitaker, except humming, right? So we're doing the things that allow us to do some really innovative, neat art where we can do it together to some extent, and we can create this amazing experience for our audience while also not killing them, because I mean, we probably don't want to kill most of them. So that's my thought.
I mean, you'd have to talk to the board about liability insurance, but like, it's, you know, the thing.
Great.
Yeah. And so in terms of like the logistic framework, we have next season booked in terms of, we have venues and we have dates and we have all the things that you would expect going into like a season. And the beauty that Dan has as an artist is that she's not really beholden to any of them, especially with sort of being responsive. And so she's able to sort of fill in these ideas as they go through. So we have enough of a framework to keep sort of the reliability and enough of the capacity to be able to dream and be flexible. The board itself is going to be running numbers and things like that for the boring logistics skeleton within the next couple of weeks. And then Dan's brain gets to start filling in the blanks. I would expect that you're not going to see a season release of her brain in the same way that you've seen in the past. You're not going to see a flyer that says the first concert will be this on this date. This is another opportunity where Dan gets to sort of dream about how we storytell about some of these ideas and what that looks like. So you know, we'll continue to make sure that there are ways for you to get insight, all the amazing things.
Also,
go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I want to just say one thing, because collaboration is the way that I function in life. I love to be part of a web of humans. I am not always like the idea generator. Sometimes I'm the person who springboards off of someone else's awesomeness. And what I would love from all of you is like, oh yeah, there is this fabulous amphitheater in X Park in Cincinnati. There are things I need to know so that I can start strategizing. Once we have a framework for what the new normal is, I'm gonna go bananas. So having your input and ideas, things I may not know, because I went to school in Cincinnati, but I don't live there yet. So those little details be very helpful. So yeah, everybody feel free, friend me on Facebook, put emails in my inbox. I don't care. I like being in touch.
Awesome. Because we are approaching the 9:30 hour, let me do the boring stuff just to wrap up. Like I said, at 9:30, there you go. Scotty has a press release that's going out. There's also a letter. So so when you're posting things on Facebook and sharing, and we want you to do that wildly, you have things that you can link to. So it's not just like, yay, but actually like, yay, get to know who Dan is. Because she has a lot of compelling stories. She's a beautiful person, and we want people to sort of, the people matter, and we want people to get to know her as soon as possible. We already have our first interview request, which we have to schedule at some point here, Dan, from Evan Millward, of course. So be looking for those kinds of things so that you can push those out. And I just saw Singing Bowels go through the perfect, fantastic, wonderful. And YPCC just keeps on trucking. I love it. All right. Scotty, anything else that we need to do to move forward?
I'm leaving the Singing Bowels joke alone. I'm not going to make it.
Perfect.
No, that's all I got. So in the coming weeks, everybody, we're still pushing out the but obviously now our big push is the new AD announcement. Those are two big announcements within a 7-day period for us, which is huge. We do have our spring campaign that will kick off in the next couple of weeks and into June. So we're hoping this good media buzz that we've created will keep us top of mind in our community minds, but also across Cincinnati, across the world. So just share stuff out directly from our Facebook. The virtual choir video doubled any other post we've ever done in history in terms of engagement and reach, which is awesome. And this announcement's right on the heels of that. So people are tuned into what we're doing, maybe because they don't have anything else to do. So let's keep that positivity going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. Dan, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. And I'm super excited for when we do get to meet in person and not die.
Yes. Cool, everybody. I think that does it for today. Stay tuned again. We might not do this next Saturday, but 9 a.m. on Saturdays are our regular touch points for the organization, and we cannot wait to see everybody in person and on the online.
All right.
Miss you all.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone.